What's going on, guys? Chuck here. After what seems like forever, I finally received my Severin Black Friday order today. Um, it was, starting to get a little concerned. It was a big order, well, not a huge order, but I had, quite a few titles that I picked up. It seemed like a lot of this stuff was getting released and people were getting certain things. At least it seemed that way. Certain titles, I know Severin tends to like, when you have an order, they tend to wait till you have everything available before they ship it. So, some of these may have just recently been released. That's why it took so long, even though they were the oldest, or the earliest titles I picked up. I'm not 100% sure. I couldn't really find when these things were supposed to be released, and it seemed like they were already out, and I wasn't getting them. But nonetheless, it arrived today, and I'm gonna just go through them real quick, show you what I got. Some of these, I think I'll probably will do a video individually on them individually. Maybe not all of them. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some of you will reach out and say, "Hey, I want to take a look at so and so." Let me know. I don't know. We'll get back to that in a minute, though. So how this is going to start out? The first one I'm going to show you is actually the last one I ordered, kind of like the add-on. The middle section was kind of like that, actual Black Friday pickup, and then the I guess main event, if you will. Those were actually the ones I pre-ordered early, so this is kind of going to go in order. So let's get started. This first one is kind of I don't know how to explain it. All I really know about it is I saw this trailer on one of my trailer compilations, and it intrigued me. And it's a documentary, I guess what you call a Mondo documentary, and that is The Killing of America, the brutal study of violence in the USA. And I know it seems kind of weird, but I'd seen this for a while. Like I said, I knew that trailer kind of really piqued my interest in talking about some of these, the real life things, events that had happened. This is not for everyone, I'm sure, and I haven't checked it. Like I said, I just unboxed it today. I haven't really checked this out, but I'm going to here soon. Well, I think it's along the lines of, again, like it's a Mondo documentary, all that real life kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure that most of this is all like 100% real, unlike a Faces of Death where, it was fabricated for entertainment purposes or whatnot. But I believe this is actually a legit, hard-hitting documentary for what it sounds like. What's also found interesting on here, well, first of all, let me read the back of it here. In 1981, filmmakers Sheldon Reading and Academy Award nominee Leonard Schrader created a graphic and provocative examination of America's history with and penchant for senseless violence, mass shootings, and cold-blooded murder. Doesn't it sound fun already? It was condemned as exploitive and obscene by the New York Times, acclaimed as among the most controversial documentaries in the history of cinema, Fantasia Festival, and never distributed, televised, or made available for sale in the United States. So that's, again, makes this pretty cool right now. Just knowing this was never available anywhere. Severin Films now presents this infamous shock doc, fully restored, uncut, and loaded with exclusive bonus features, including the even more unnerving Japanese version known as Violence USA, which remains one of the most profoundly disturbing and still chillingly relevant documentary experiences of our time. So, yeah, this sounds really intense. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. And of course, like I said, it has a Japanese version, which goes about 10 minutes longer, because it looks like the English language version runs 95 minutes, and the Japanese is 115 minutes. And they're both both new 2K scans. And it has an audio commentary with the director, and a couple other special features. This is actually pretty interesting for this little known documentary. So I'm kind of looking forward to checking this out. This is probably one I will do a video on, because this is something, like I said, I've only, obviously it's never been put out there, so you don't really, I don't think not many people know too much about it. I only saw it from that trailer, and it piqued my curiosity. So we'll definitely check that out. Okay, so into the middle section, I kind of the biggest group of stuff I picked up. This first one, I don't know. It just seemed it's Thong Girl, so let's just say this. um, Jess Franco, and obviously it's smut, it's TNA, Italian TNA. But actually, I mean, the premise of it sounded like a kind of a zany 80s sex comedy, and it's 1983, so it was right around that time when the sex comedy was pretty popular, at least in the States. And from the description on this, it definitely had it sounded a lot like a goofy, 80s sex comedy. So that right there just piqued my interest because I'm a sucker for those kind of films, good and bad. And then knowing this Italian is Franco and it's a sex comedy, who knows what we're going to get. So I just had to take a chance of this. So this is what I'm looking forward to checking out, clearly. Some of these bigger ones now. And without realizing, actually, I was going through this too. And from this really helped, flesh out my Video Nasties collection, which I started collecting years ago, kind of off and on. And thanks to Severin and Vinegar Syndrome, I picked up a lot of them. And I haven't really been paying much attention, but I was kind of just did it today and kind of categorized what it had, what were listed to Nasties, and I've got about 90 some titles out of all three lists. So hey, a couple of them duplicate because I have duplicates, but that's something I'll talk about another time. But let's get started. So the first one I picked up was the 4K of Night Train Murders. Again, this is one that always intrigued me. It's basically, a lot of people could call it like Last House on the Left on a train. So yeah, this was, like I said, it's a 4K Blu-ray. There's a lot of, I think, some good special features on here. It also includes a soundtrack. I love that these films have soundtracks. You wouldn't think of something like that, but a lot of them, they're included here. So this is one I'm, probably going to check out very soon. Well, I know I'll check it out. It's a matter of when. I may do a video on this one too. I don't know. A lot of things I may do. It's just a matter of so many of them will I get to them and how long will it take. By the time I get to them, will anyone even care? I don't know. I may be able to do it for me. Who knows? So there's that. Next up was a really big one, and that was Hell of a Living Dead. So this was when I got work. I've seen a lot of people were getting this one already, and I was still waiting on my order. But again, I think it was because of some of the titles coming up later that were maybe took for a while to ship. So, Hell of a Living Dead, also known as zombie flesh eaters, or excuse me, zombie creeping flesh. Yeah, this looks just nuts. And again, another Video Nasty to the collection, so looking forward to that. This one here was one I actually kind of have, but not a very good version. What I have it is basically it's one of these the Mill Creek 50 movie packs, and obviously a lot of those are really bad DVD rips, and some are just probably VHS ripped to DVD. But the version I have on that is Mountain of the Cannibal God, and this is the 4K release with Blu-ray of Slave of the Cannibal God, of course, starring Ursula Andress, the original James Bond girl, and also Stacy Keach, which is pretty cool. Like I said, I think the version I have is the toned down, it's more of an American cut. But yeah, so this is one of the Video Nasty list is full of cannibal movies. This is one of them. Probably more popular for a naked Ursula Andress and Stacy Keach, which is pretty I don't know, highbrow to have someone Stacy Keach in this movie. Sergio Martino's director on this. So yeah, so Slave of the Cannibal God. Like I said, I do have the Mountain of the Cannibal God. I want to move back to this is newly restored 4K. This is really cool. Next up, because we're into it now, we're gonna get Last Cannibal World, slipping right out of the package there, in 4K. And this is the Ruggero Deodato, of course, infamous for Cannibal Holocaust. And this is a 4K Blu-ray, and I believe this one, this is a heavy set, and I think this includes a book And one of these, is it this one? Yes, this one has the Blu-ray or the 4K, the Blu-ray, and this included the alternate US version, which was only to the limited edition, from what I understand, on a sticker that was on here. So Last Cannibal World alternate US edition on Blu-ray. So that is pretty cool. Again, I know cannibal movies aren't everybody's cup of tea. Not really my cup of tea, honestly. It's more for the cataloging of, again, video nasties, and just, I don't know, part of that subgenre in having it is more, again, it's more of a cataloging of these films. Although I will say I am a fan of Cannibal Holocaust. I know people are like, ugh. But I will argue that it is it's probably, one of the best done cannibal films, and you can watch it without the, animal cruelty, which I'd probably recommend. But take that away, it's actually a really well done film, and I highly like it. It's got a very haunting score, but that's a whole other thing. Okay, so that was all that midsection, and now we have, I guess you call the main event, if you will, and that was, I picked up the Russ Meyer Vixen trilogy, all the 4K limited editions. We've got, and I love this, Russ Meyer's Bosomania. So we've got Vixen, and I'd be careful how much there's nothing. Slipcovers are pretty tame. There's not really much to the back, but here we go. A landmark in American cult cinema, Russ Meyer's skin flick blends nonstop softcore with asides on racism, draft dodging, and Cuban communism. Erica Gavin exudes a rapacious, sneering sexuality from film 4. So there you go. I mean, look, racism, draft dodging, Cuban communism, and breasts. This movie has something to say, and I think it's important we listen to it. Up next, we've got Too Much for One Movie. It's Russ Meyer's Super Vixens. As entertaining as Russ Meyer gets, he ups the sex and violence count. His taste for the surreal is in full flow, and Sherry Eubank's fiery performance puts her alongside Taurus Satana and Erica Gavin as Premier League Meyer ladies. So there you go. And this also stars what's his name? If I can read the small print, Charles Napier. This guy right here, you may know him. He is like in First Blood, and very big character actor. You see him in a lot of stuff. Yeah, so he's fairly well known. He's one of those, that guy. And last, but by the looks of this, definitely not least, we've got 6 Chicks in Search of a Cluck, and so hilariously funny, Russ Meyer's Beneath Valley of the Ultra Vixens. So there you go. Yeah, okay. 4 stars. His last and most archetypical romp with Meyer at the height of his powers. Above all, everyone in it looks like they're having an absolutely great time, The Guardian. So there you have it. Nudie cuties galore. So that is it. Again, this really quick rundown of my Severin Black Friday order. Since a few of these, definitely going to do videos on. It's going to take a while. I'm going to have to get through them all, or in any kind of fashion. Maybe, who knows? Just to keep me going for a while. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is some really good stuff here. Some really great additions. Again, adding to my video nasty collection inadvertently. Like I said, I wasn't really seeking out to, because it's kind of things. I think in the beginning I was purposely trying to find stuff. Then when things had died down, I wasn't able to pick up a whole lot of time. I was basically, when things would get released or they were on sale, I just happened to grab them and not really thinking about it, because I wasn't even cataloging them as video nasties until just today. There's a whole lot I had missed, because I have a phone app that catalogs everything. But anyway, so that is it for this one here. fairly short, unless I keep rambling. I'm going to try not to. If you enjoy this, click thumbs up, share, subscribe, leave me a comment below. Let me know if there's anything in here you definitely want to see me take a closer look at and you'd like to see it here in this video. There's a lot here. I'm going to try and get through what I can quick as I can. Real life sucks. It's kind of hard to maneuver. What does it suck? Let me take it back. It doesn't suck, but it gets in the way sometimes, and that's it gets in the way of things you really want to do. But it's okay. That's part of life, baby. Or just say hi. I'll always take hi. So until next time, this is Chuck saying I will see you on the other side.